All right, welcome everyone to the September 8th, 2025 council meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As we always do, we have a few announcements to start the meeting. And as we've been continuing in the past meetings, next Saturday, September 13th, is the 2025 McCandless Community Day. It begins at 1 p.m. There's going to be performances by the Totally 80s, the Allegheny Brass Band. There'll be face painting, balloon animals, activities from the Moonshot and Carnegie Museums, a beer tent, numerous food trucks, and more. There's a skydiver will be dropping in around 3:45, and rides are open all day until 7 p.m. And as always, we finish it off with fireworks. We hope to see everyone there. McCandless Adventure tickets are on sale for Town Hall, or at Town Hall, for a chance for your child to enter to win a ride to school in one of McCandless's vehicles. Last day to purchase these is September 13th, and sales benefit the McCandless 175 celebration taking place in 2026. Please join the EAC, which is the Environmental Advisory Committee, for All About Whitetail Deer on Tuesday, September 13th at 7 p.m. here at Town Hall, presented by the PA Game Commission biologist Janine Fleegel. Are there any other announcements from anyone else on council?
Yes, Mr. President.
Mr. Wall, please.
McCandless lost another public servant. Ralph Friedman was served this community for more importantly, was deeply involved in the youth of our community. The volunteer with the Ecmore Athletic Association was one of the people who started the softball year. I'd like to honor this man. First of all, I want to give condolences to his wife and his two surviving children. One of them never had silence.
Thank you for that, Mr. Wall. Any other announcements from anyone else on council? Okay. Seeing none, this is the point of the meeting where there will be public comment on agenda items. Please come forward, state your name, and then we ask that if you are going to speak tonight, that you did sign in at the sheet at the front of the desk.
Marcia Caliendo. I just want to make a comment on the dog ordinance that you're going to be voting on later this evening. I think it's a great ordinance, and I had made a mention of this before. In the ordinance, you say you need to control the dogs. I believe the majority of people would have a hard time controlling a dog on a 10-foot leash. So I really would urge that we cut that down. I don't think you can control somebody with that length of distance. So that's the only thing. Thank you.
Thank you for those comments. Please come forward and state your name. Make sure you've signed in.
So we're not saying our address anymore?
We are not, but it will be on record at the front when
Okay.
they sign in.
Ellen Wright. Hello, everybody. Good to see you. I have a handout tonight. I'm also talking about the leash ordinance and the solicitation ordinance. And I'm going to start on the yellow side of the handout. And it says it's the front, so it's ordinance number 1559. And it says that the ordinance is effective immediately. And if you look down below, the solicitation ordinance is also effective immediately. And why that matters is if you turn on the back side of the paper, where the green is, McCandless's ordinance 117.11 says the effective date of an ordinance is 10 days after an advertisement or 10 days after enactment if an advertisement fails to appear for reasons beyond council's control. And down below, I have two examples of other ordinances. Ordinance number 1504, which was from September 14th in 2020. And that ordinance did not become effective until 10 days after proper advertisement. I also have another example, ordinance number 1510, which was from February 2021. And that ordinance also did not become effective until 10 days after proper advertisement. So they were in line with the town's or code that says ordinances don't become effective until 10 days after advertisement. So I would ask that today's ordinances, be withdrawn, rewritten until that the ordinance is aligned with the code. So, thank you.
Thank you for those comments.
Yeah, I appreciate you pointing that out. The ordinance was advertised on August 21st, which is more than 10 days ago. So we're okay to say that it can be enacted effective immediately.
Please, come forward.
This is after that. If this is the ordinances, the advertisements take place are to be advertised.
No, it doesn't say
after.
that. It says the effective date of an ordinance is 10 days after advertisement, which was advertised on the 21st, or 10 days after enactment if advertisement fails to appear. Advertisement did not fail to appear. It was on the 21st. So therefore we can say effective immediately. Solicitor, please.
The town manager is 100% correct. These ordinances are effective immediately because it was advertised more than 10 days before today.
I believe that it would says that the advertisement is after that that it's been enacted and that there needs to be a 10-day.
You don't advertise it after it's enacted. You advertise it before they would enact it.
I would respectfully disagree. So thank you.
Thank you for those comments. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, John.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Any other public comment this evening on agenda items? Okay, seeing none, we will continue through. Item number 5, approval of minutes. The minutes were previously emailed to council. Everybody had a chance to review. Is there a motion? There is a motion. Is there a second?
So move.
Second, Mr. Casey. Any further discussion? All those in,
I'll abstain.
I abstain too, since
not a problem. 3 abstentions. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? It will note the 3 abstentions. Thank you. Moving on to reports of committees, Public Safety Committee, the staff report, the chief's report is included in your packet, and the chief is here. You want to have some highlights for us here, chief?
certainly, so everybody can hear me. Members of council, you have my monthly report, so if you all have any questions, feel free to throw them at me. And in the meantime, I'll touch on a few things from that report. To cover the training aspect, is you probably are all accustomed to, all of our specialized units attended their monthly trainings in the month of August. I'd like to point out that Officer Davis and his partner Leroy were deployed twice in August to assist outside agencies. And from all accounts, his partner was on his track. So we're happy that there's been some deployments there, some canine deployments. I'd also like to point out that our social worker, Jenny Fry, successfully referred 32 individuals this past month to social work services. So that continues to be hitting around that 30 or 35 per month mark. Also on August 15th, McCandless officers participated in a North Hills DUI task force sobriety checkpoint in Shaler Township. As you can see, there were over 1,000 vehicles passed through that checkpoint that evening. 7 were administered field sobriety tests, and the task force arrested 5 for DUI. A bunch of citations issued that evening as well.
Chief, real quick, you see constantly and you hear from people constantly, why do we advertise that? Why is it, why would you advertise roving DUI checkpoints? Can you go into that a little bit just so?
I think
understand the
partly,
reasoning?
yeah, I would say partially. I believe we're obligated, and I probably couldn't cite that off the top of my head where, but to advertise it. And I think it's also to maybe call attention to, the reminder like the PSP does on, you'll hear them on the radio and stuff before the holidays, just to remind folks to be responsible, right? And I don't think we're trying to give ourselves up. We just want folks to behave. And I
Thank
think
you.
that's partially why.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely. A couple other things quick. National Night Out was August 5th for anybody in the community that came down. I think it was a successful evening, as it has been for a number of years now. And I appreciate all the volunteers' help that evening. I think I saw everybody from town council there that night too. And we appreciate everybody's support. I think it was a successful evening. And finally, as I've been noting the last several months or more, a continued issue that our officers deal with out there are deer. We had 35 calls relating to deer this past month, and Big Daddy picked up 13 carcasses off the road. So, that's all I have.
We'll probably see those numbers go up now with hunting season and the rut and everything else going on.
I
So
couldn't have said it any better,
It'll
Mr.
be-
President.
be a
Yep.
busy season coming forward with that.
I'm happy to see that Jenny's been really working with our community to get them the help that they need. Just curious, I know coming in, because we're only a couple of years in now, are all of our officers taking advantage of the fact that we don't have a social worker, or is it just limited to some, or is everybody like engaging?
Good question. So the way our shifts all alternate, there are the night turn officers don't see her as much as I would like, but we do have referral process in place down there for them to refer cases. And in fact, the new RMS that we went to a few months ago provides an opportunity for officers to forward these cases that they think that she could assist in. So we do have it in place, and she is being utilized. I think like any program, the potential to grow is still there, but I believe that there's buy-in from the officers. I know that she's periodically out on the road doing ride-alongs and asking for assistance from the police in some of those social work matters, so that we can kind of go with her, make sure she's safe, the individual she's, trying to assist is safe, everybody's safe. So, yeah, I think so. I think it continues to grow.
Try for clarity. You have officers. Fire. All those checks. 4 or 5 times a month. at the
Mhm.
same residences, right?
Absolutely.
And since that is taking place, we're able to see more efficient. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I think that that's your point, Mr. Wall, is well taken, that the hope is that she's able to connect these folks with the services they need, where there might have been a drop off in the past where the officer tries to make the connection, but they have to move on to the next call, where Jenny's able to follow up with them. So I like to think that will also translate into less calls back to these same addresses, right?
We will have an annual report. I think at the October meeting is when we had discussed with Jenny to come and present on how she's developed the program so far and where she wants to see it go next year.
Thank you. Any other questions for Chief Huck? Seeing none, thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Fire Marshal's report is included in your packet, but Mr. Wisner is here as well. You've got to flip the microphone around.
We need a bigger report.
No, as noted.
Okay. We'll start off the call report. We'll start with fire calls. So there were 120 fire calls in the town of McCandless for the month of June, with 58 of them being medical calls. There were 50 out of town responses by our fire department for a total of 170 calls for the month. Looking at that, continuing into August, there were 19 fire code inspections conducted during the month of August, with 1 occupancy inspection. There were 18 fire marshal calls. I taught 2 fire safety employee training programs for a total of 66 staff members. Still working on a number of emergency management items for county, including the hazard mitigation plan update. Attended the National Night Out on August 5th. Attended the committee day planning which this Saturday, safety plan's been approved and it will be disseminated to our emergency responders. Still working on pre-plans, which that'll be a continuing thing throughout the year. Wrote the article on the fire side for McMail. So if you've read it, hopefully you've learned a little bit more about fire extinguishers. And I know I've heard from a couple council members, but hopefully everyone received their invite for the firefighters appreciation banquet scheduled for November 22nd. It's a new venue, so I imagine there's gonna be better food, but we'll see. But that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Wisner. Any questions? Seeing none, thank you. The building permit report was included in your packet. Any questions can be directed towards Mr. Schwinn. Seeing none. Continuing on to liaison reports, personnel board, Mr. Wall.
Personnel board.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wall. Volunteer firefighter steering committee was Mr. Hart. There was no meeting. However, there will be one for next month. At this time, is there any public comment on public safety? Please come forward, state your name, make sure you've signed it. Seeing none. Oh, I'm sorry, please.
I just want to, oh, Rita Martin, 1058
Don't need
Buckcrest
an
Road.
address, as long as you sign in, make sure you
Oh,
sign in before you
okay.
leave.
I just wanted to say a compliment to our social worker. I received an email from someone in the community who said, she knew I was on the personnel committee. She said, what a great decision. She was helped so much by just.
Thank you for that feedback. We appreciate that. There any other public comment on public safety? Seeing none, we'll move on to report of facilities management, staff reports, public works.
A couple highlights from last month. We continued the replacing of stormwater basins for the 26 paving program. Worked on Vestal Trail. We painted some lines for the police. Painted lines in the parking lots. We repainted the islands over at Blazer. And constructed a new office for Melinda. And a couple things that I didn't add in the report, but I wanted to add is in an effort to make things more efficient. My management team and I redid the snow and ice routes this year, and we'll be adding a 10th route. There was 9 routes prior. We'll be utilizing the small dump trucks this year and adding a 10th route. So hopefully that helps. And also with the new leaf truck, we will now have 4 leaf trucks instead of 3, which will be, it's going to be huge for this year. So looking forward to that. And that's all I have for my report. Any questions?
Thank you. I appreciate it. I just want to highlight, and I think you did it, Public Works is such an asset to this town because they build offices in this building, they paint lines for the police, they clean up the streets, they rebuild the basins, they sidewalks. I mean, we have a public works department that does everything, whereas a lot of other public works departments plow your snow, and that's about where the beginning end is. The talent and abilities that they have over there is just phenomenal. It's an asset. We're really appreciative of everything they do. Thank you.
I'd like to add to that. I just want to tell you that we had a lot of great comments about your work down in Vestal Field. Thank you so much.
Very responsive. Thank you. Any other questions for Brad? Okay. Continuing on to liaison reports, Environmental Advisory Committee, Mr. Giorgetti.
Was not at the last meeting. I believe Trish was there in my presence, but I will also add that we just had interviews for the junior role prior to our meeting tonight, and we had 3 really great interviews, and we're looking forward to coming to you guys with a recommendation at our next meeting.
Great.
Just want to share, looking at it, it falls in line with the McKenna's 175 program is the there's a real emphasis on preserving and recognizing the trees in our community and rebuilding and retreeing our community as well. So that's something to look forward, be aware of. And the question that they did have, the lights in the HCC parking lot, will they be turned off at the close of HCC hours?
We didn't decide that yet, but I'd like them off as much as possible, so they shouldn't be on
That was,
any more than needed. Yeah, depending on soccer season, if it's, a little bit dark at times, it might be on. For events, they'll be on, but they won't be on all the time.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the EAC? Seeing none. Ad hoc Technology Committee, Mr. Wall. There was no meeting. Ad hoc Stormwater Management Committee, there was no meeting. At this time, is there any public comment on facilities management?
Lauren Knoll. I wanted to echo some of the comments made earlier and personally thank you on behalf of my neighbors on Oak Ridge for the work that you did on Vestal. You may not know that the Vestal Trail was initiated by a gentleman in our neighborhood as he began losing his sight, Jim Northrop. And it was a way for him to safely get to the bus stop when he could no longer drive. And it's used by several visually impaired people in the neighborhood, as well as moms and dads with small kids and people who like to use it for recreation. So the speed in which you addressed the problem was amazing. So thank you very much for that. We do appreciate it. Diane, I also want to thank you because I was unable to get an answer. I reached out to you as to the nature of the closure and the time that it was expected to be back up and running. Your quick response was amazing and you were spot on with your information. So thank you. You are a definite resource to the community as well. Thank you.
Thank you for those comments. Are there any other public comments on facilities management? Okay, seeing none. Moving on to reports of the Services Committee. Liaison reports, McCandless Township Sanitary Authority, Mr. Casey.
Reports in your packet. I wasn't there. Don Hart actually stepped in for me that evening, but I could probably answer any questions you have any.
Okay. Any questions? Seeing none. McCandless Sprinkler Park Ambulance Authority, again, Mr. Casey.
Again, the reports in your packet. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Okay, any questions? Seeing none. Northland Public Library Authority, Mr. Giorgetti.
That report is also in your packet. I was unable to attend, but Mr. Singer was there on my behalf. And I just want to quickly mention that Amy Steele did unfortunately announce that she's going to be stepping down. So she's going to retire. And I just wanted to publicly thank her for her incredible work. She was a real asset to this town. And she has led them through a lot this past year with everything that they've tackled.
She's not done until.
February,
Correct.
February,
yes.
correct.
We'll get the opportunity to thank her properly.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. Yes, I attended the meeting. We're this close to opening, I feel. We're so close. Everyone's excited for that. That's coming very quick. It's a congratulation effort for Amy and all of her hard work. And we will properly send her off here next year going forward. They also have the Children's Gala coming up.
September 20th.
Thank you.
We still have a few tickets left if you're interested.
So thank you very much, everyone. That's all I have for Northland Library. At this time, is there any public comment on services? Seeing none. Moving on, there is no old business, so we will start with new business. The first item up here is actually concerning Blazer Drive lot line adjustments. I'll give this over to you, Mr. Schwen. These are just the housekeeping items of that redevelopment over there.
Right, this is lot 8 and parcel A. If you saw that in your packet, it was an adjustment basically of a right of way between, that's lot 9 and lot 8. It widened it, and I think it was only about 6 feet. Planning Commission reviewed, recommended approval.
Is there somebody willing to make that motion?
Approve the application for adjustment revision. 1/8 parcel A of Blazer Drive subdivision plan. Number 5, block and lot number 945-B-360 and 945-B-45 for the town engineers review letter dated August 1st, 2025.
There has been a motion. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Arlo. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next two items we'll do each individually, but they are resignations. These members have decided to move on for personnel reasons. We have to accept their resignation and then we can properly advertise for that replacement. So let's do them one at a time. The first one will be Dan Coyne off
I
the,
want to thank Dan Coyne for his dedicated service to the FDPC. Dan came on at a very pivotal time.
need a,
Works that we could have never had. You know, I accept the resignation of Dan Coyne.
so there has been a motion. Is there a second? Second, thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Same thing here with Mark Wainzak from the EAC. Moving on for personal reasons, time constraints. We need a motion to accept his resignation. If somebody's willing to do that.
I'll make the motion to accept the resignation of Mark Wanzak from the EAC.
There's been a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
A second by Mr. Casey. Again, we want to thank both Mark and Dan for their time. These are volunteer positions. These people take time out of their days to come and help us here at the town and provide their resources. So thank you to both of them. Any further discussion on this? Then all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item up is all of that alphabet soup is SHACOG, South Hills Area Council of Governments bidding process. And this is a agreement for rock salt purchase. So the town, sorry, I'm taking some from you. The town already has contracts with North Hills COG and PennDOT. This gives us another resource to solicit rock salt for our future winter. So we have to have this agreement for that. Anything to add to that, John?
No.
Somebody willing to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution, I'm sorry. Purchasing agreement with Compass Minerals Incorporated for the purchase of rock salt through the SHACOG bidding process for the period of August 1st, 2025 until June 30th.
There's been a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Giorgetti. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next one up, Mr. Schwend, I'll let you handle this one.
This is a housekeeping item, a resolution to allow us to apply for funds from the Southwestern PA Commission through the Transportation Alternatives Set Aside Program. This would be for sidewalk that we call the Ingomar Elementary Connector Sidewalk. It would connect Ingomar Elementary School further down the road past Coons all the way towards where our former Phil site was and what will be a soon green space that'll connect to the branch trail also. So it's an important piece of a missing connector. We're asking for funding in the amount of $950,000 from that program.
I'd like to make that motion.
Please.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 2025-12, authorizing the filing for an application for funds with the Southwest Pennsylvania Commission.
There's been a motion. Is there a second? Second, Trish. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next two are the proposed ordinance. The first one is the leash law. In order to get this started, we need a motion.
Before we go there,
Oh, please.
I'm going to, based on the history of litigation with Ms. Rush, I'm going to recommend that we add the language that she suggested to the ordinance and proceed in that manner on both of these. It is not a material change to the ordinance. It is a change that is a benefit to folks who are being regulated. And I believe it's permitted under our code and Sunshine Act. So that's my recommendation, that we ensure that that is part of the.
So like we actually revise the motion to include the 10-day.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I would make a motion to approve ordinance number 1559, an ordinance of town council. Town of McCandless, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, amending Article 7 of the town code of ordinances to establish regulations and control of violence within the town, and establish a penalty for violation of those regulations to be enacted 10 days after,
Effective.
to be effective 10 days after the enactment.
Thank you for that mouthful. There has been a motion. Is there a second?
Full second.
Second, Mr. Giorgetti. Any further discussion? I do want to bring up, as the public comment talked about 10-foot on this. And we talked about this in past meetings. There's multiple variations of 10-foot, 6-foot, multiple. I think for myself personally, and I just want to, I think we're starting at 10, but that doesn't mean that's not something we can revisit. I think we're trying this out, seeing how this works, and then if there's necessary adjustments, that's the good thing is we could come back and take a look at it if it requires it differently. So just a little bit of my thought process to that. Any other discussion on this one? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is the transient vendors, which we know as solicitors. What we have done is updated a little bit, added some times, and the addition of a no solicitation list. That is something I think we heard a lot of from constituents. So if we can have a motion for this, please, Trish.
Motion to approve ordinance number 1560, an ordinance of the town council of the town of McCandless, Allegheny County, amending Article 305, transient vendors of the town code of ordinance to establish a no solicitation list and set the hours of operation. Shall take effect 10 days after passing.
Thank you. There has been a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Giorgetti, any further discussion?
I think I mentioned this before, but I hope that we can, with this, possibly do some social media work and letting our residents know what to do if this listener comes and knowing these rules.
Definitely. And that's one of the things I want is to make sure the permitted ones are listed on our website. So residents have the ability to go to our website, say, this vendor does have a permit that's current and active with the town, and they'll be able to research that. So any further discussion? Then all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. At this time, are there any public non-agenda comments? Please come forward, state your name, and make sure you've signed in. Seeing none, then we will enter into an executive session for a personnel matter. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second? Mr. Wall, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everybody.